this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing Season 3 of Afterlife. Now, Season 3 of Afterlife is written and directed by Ricky Gervais and is the final season of this series. Now, this is a first because Ricky Gervais usually doesn't do 3 seasons of his show. He did Extras, which was 2 seasons, The Office, which was 2, and Derek, which was 2 seasons. And this is very different because this series, this comedy drama, was more so welcomed by the audience that viewed it on Netflix. The 3rd season of Afterlife came out January 14th, 2022. And let me just say, wow, this 3rd season was even better than the first 2. Now, if you didn't know, Ricky Gervais plays Tony Johnson, whose wife Lisa dies of breast cancer. After that, he's very depressed, he's very suicidal, he just doesn't know what to do with his life anymore. He just goes on about his day working at the local newspaper agency called The Gazette. He works with his brother-in-law Matt, and you have other characters like Lenny and Kath, and the receptionist, I forgot her name. And then we don't see Sandy in this 3rd season, but a new character that is hired at the Gazette is named Colleen. It's really funny because when this character is introduced, she just has more of a shitty attitude because she lives at home with her drunk mother and she just wants to go out on her own, and it's all, but we understand what her character is in the first 5 minutes that we're introduced to her. It's really great. The comedic timing in this season is fantastic. All the while, the drama and the emotional aspect is really well written into this season. Now, I do want to say, we don't really get much of the character of Tony that is played by Ricky Gervais that much in this season. We still see that he's grieving after the loss of his wife and even his father. And he is, so-called going out with Emma, the one who works at the home care agency. And, she likes him, he doesn't. And it's a whole back and forth of like, does he really like her? And it's good and it's interesting. Now, Tony's character in this is really more so laid back in a way, I want to say, than we usually saw him in the first 2 seasons. In the first 2 seasons, he didn't want to know what to do. He was very suicidal and depressed, and he just wanted to end his life because he wanted to be with his wife. Now, the other characters we don't see in this series, Season 3, is Daphne, or Roxy, the prostitute. We do see the postman, Pat, and it's really good. And we see a lot of Brian in this. Let me tell you, David Earl as Brian is really phenomenal. He's more so a guest in the Season 1 aspect of this show. And in Season 2 and 3, he got, promoted to main character. It's really well done and really funny, and it's hilarious. At times you're trying to understand what he's talking about, but then you understand that he himself is, a way how Ricky Gervais wrote it, is a loser in this season, but he wants to do good and wants to do good things. Now, we also do see a lot of James, who is June's son in this. He's front and center. He wants to be that one aspiring actor, and it's so well done. The way Ricky Gervais wrote each character is very different than what you usually see in the first 2 seasons, because he focused on every single person in this season, because we knew this was going to be the final season. Not only that, the character of Anne, who he always meets at the cemetery and sits down at the bench and talks about life with, is really, really good. And, she's really sporadic in this season as well. But what I did like was that the character of Kath was really front and center. We got to see her social life, we got to see her dating life, all the while mixed in, she was going out with a lawyer, then she went on a date with a teacher, but she was just lonely. She didn't have anyone, but she wanted someone. And the way Ricky Gervais wrote her character is exceptional and so brilliant. At times it was funny, but then at times it was really sad because she just wanted to be with someone. But the way she kept pushing people away really showed how that character progressed over these 3 seasons. And not only that, there are really good comedic aspects to this, where there's an episode where Tony and Matt go to spread Tony's father's ashes around, and there's a scene that takes place in a pub. And then another episode, which is very shocking, where Matt has a heart attack. It's very unexpected, and I like that was thrown in there. But I do like the slowed down moments in this season where Tony and Lenny go out to meet these people of the town and the town of Tambury, where they have news stories, but they just do that. They go out and get the news, and they want to put the news out there to people. And some people are swingers. Some old lady got her money stolen. But the one heartfelt moment really came at the end of this season, where Tony and Lenny visit a hospice for young kids, and they have cancer. It's, when you think about it, you do get emotional, because one of the kids' names is Lisa, and just the look on his face and seeing Lenny's reaction to that was really interesting. Also, Tony tells Lenny that he has a $150,000 life insurance from Lisa that Lisa left when she died, but he doesn't want to cash it in because he doesn't want to see the way he got it. But everybody else is telling him, just take it from the insurance company, that's all you do. It's a really interesting season, very heartfelt. It's only 6 episodes. In total, all 3 seasons are 18 episodes. They're close to 25 to 31 minutes long. This show is a quick binge watch. You can watch this show in 8 hours or under 8 hours. It's really quick, it's really simple, but it's so well done. It's very different than what Ricky Gervais usually writes with his shows. I'm really curious to see what he writes next, because this season was really funny, but then it was also emotional. But then the positive feedback that this show brought by getting through people and by helping people cope with death and loss and understanding certain things is really, really eye-opening. And I love Ricky Gervais as a creator, as a writer, as a director, even as a comedian, because he's so original with his ideas that it always makes sense. I'm really curious to see what he does next. I'm hoping that his next shows get more than 2 seasons, or maybe more than 3 seasons like Afterlife got. If he does maybe 4 seasons of a show, I'll be very, very happy and really surprised. But I'm curious to see how things are done. And who knows, maybe this Afterlife series might get turned into an American series like The Office was. So you never know. So for me, Afterlife Season 3 gets 5 out of 5 stars. And as a whole, the entire series also gets 5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it. It's a great, great show. Very well written, very well directed, and so meaningful and powerful, and really interesting and emotional, where the emotional aspect and the comedy aspect do balance each other out at times, and it's really, really fun to watch. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Season 3 of Afterlife, and as a whole, what did you think of the entire series, Seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Afterlife, if you did watch it. Let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked, and I'll see you guys in the next review video.